Ten God 食神 from 渊海子平 discussing eating God 论是神。渊海子平 eating God, the one who produced the wealth God. Example, for 家 which represent wood, 丙 which represent fire, name Qi robber considered as the eating God. Why? Ping is able to produce Wu of Jia DM, with eating God Ping produce Wu wealth, the way the name is derived. For natal chart with eating God, the day master has abundant wealth and luxuriant food, stomach filled to capacity, fat travel to one's satisfaction, children's blessing and long life. Dislike officer star, inauspicious to meet indirect resource, afraid of damage to the eating God, likes to have wealth God to produce, meeting one alone, considered a fortunate person, otherwise it is not pure. Likes to be strong, dislike resource, afraid of damage to the eating God. If the luck obtain the ground, during luck period which is supportive, can obtain fortune, approximately similar to wealth God. Example, for Ji Wei, day master, with Ji Si, Ding Wei, and Xing Chou. For Ding day master, Ji Earth represent the eating God, with one Chou Si combined to matter. Obtaining it represent wealth, like the serf to be not weak, so with officer also represent long life. For example, for Yi Si, Yi Yu, Kui Yu, and Yi Mao chart. This chart has three Yi wood which represent eating God, with Si Yu, matter formation as a source. Further, with 3 Yi changed to hurting officer, Kui, day master, uses Yi as the eating God, the Yi would control by the matter formation. Further, with the 3 Yi supported by the Mao to become strong, to control back the officer. Therefore, it represents failure in both fame and fortune. 子平政权 chart structure. To establish a chart structure, examples from 子平政权 on chart structure establishment. 子平政权 method of chart structure analysis is very comprehensive. Prosperous DM, prosperous EG, protrude wealth. For prosperous day master, with prosperous eating God, with protrusion of wealth, an A grade noble chart. Example for Minister Liang, Ding Wei, Kui Mao, Kui Hai, Kui Chou, Kui as the day master, with Mao as the eating God. With protrusion of Ding indirect wealth in the HS. Considered as eating God structure applied with wealth. The day master Kui is prosperous with the 2 Kui next in the HS and supported by Hai in the EB. The eating God Mao is further strengthened with the combination of Hai Mao. The protrusion of wealth in this chart making it an established eating God structure applied with wealth. Example for Governor Xie, Ji Wei, Ren Shen, Wu Zi, Ken Shen, eating God structure applied wealth. Wu of DM with Shen as the eating God. The Wu of day master is supported by the Wei of in the year pillar. The Shen eating God is supported by the Ken Shen in the hour pillar. The protrusion of Ren indirect wealth establishing the chart structure as an eating God structure applied with wealth. Prosperous DM, prosperous EG, protrude wealth. If the eating god does not protrude, but hurting officer protrude instead, a person with strong, stubborn character. Example for Ding Hai, Kui Mao, Jia Yin. Eating god structure applied with wealth. Kui day master with Mao as the eating god. The Kui is supported by the Kui in the month HS and also supported by the Hai in the year EB. The Mao eating god is supported by the Jia in the HS and supported by Yin and Mao in the EB. The protrusion of Ding indirect wealth, establishing the chart as an eating god structure applied with wealth. If the yin-yang polarity of wealth protrude, the prosperity and nobility is not significant. Example for magistrate Gong, Jia Wu, Ding Mao, Kui Chou, Bing Chen. Eating god structure applied with wealth. Kui day master supported by a weak Kui inside the Chen. The Mao eating god supported by a single Jia wood in the HS. The protrusion of Ding indirect wealth supported by a very strong Wu in the EB. With another protrusion of Bing direct wealth in the HS, making the chart mix with indirect wealth and direct wealth, lowering the prosperity and nobility of the chart structure. Wood day master born in summer with wealth chart structure. The fire is strong and the earth is dried. The day master achieves success through military, martial or fighting method. Example for Commander Wong, Ji Wei, Ji Si, Jia Yin, and Bing Yin. Eating god structure applied wealth. Jia Wood day master born in the month of Si. The Si and Wei combination in the EB to fire, further supported by the Bing in the HS, making it a very fiery chart. The Ji direct wealth in the HS is considered as dried and parched. As a result, the day master can achieve success using military tactic. Without using wealth, can make use of 7K and resource, can be famous and powerful. Example for Lord Chang, Xing Mao, Kui Yu, and Ji Wei. Kui day master supported by Tu Xing indirect resource in the HS and the Yu in the EB. The Ji Earth 7K is supported by the Wei in the our EB. The established chart structure is considered as eating god applied with resource and 7K. Without protrusion of resource, with a single 7K, without wealth, considered a noble chart. Example for top student Wu Xi, Ren Xi, Bing Zi, and Wu Xi. Bing day master with Xi eating god. The Xi is very very strong in this chart with 3 Xi in the EB and with 2 Wu in the HS. With a single protrusion of Ren 7K in the HS. Considered as an eating god chart without protrusion of resource, with a single 7K and without wealth. For metal day master born in the month of Hai or Zi, eating god applied with 7K, considered noble and elegant. Example for scholar Shu, Ding Hai, Ren Zi, Xing Si, Ding Si, considered an elegant structure. Xing day master supported by Yu in the EB, further supported by the Si Yu combination. The Zi eating god is supported by the Ren in the HS and Hai in the EB. The protrusion of two Ting 7K in the HS, establishing the chart as an eating god applied with 7K. Supposedly, eating god fear resource, but when the fire is too strong and the wood is scorched, protrusion of resource water is acceptable. Example for Governor Qian, 丙午癸巳 Jia Si Bing Yin. Jia Day Master born in the month of Si, when fire is strong. The Si-Wu combination further strengthening the fire and also supported by Bing in the HS. The Kui direct resource in the HS is useful to cool down the temperature of the chart. For eating god structure that has protrusion of 7 killing in the natal chart, it is inauspicious to meet wealth, but if the wealth protrude followed by 7K, with eating god in between, the wealth is unable to support the 7K. It is considered a noble chart. Example for Governor Liu, Kui Yu, Xing Yu, Ji Mao, Yi Hai. The Earth Day Master with Yu as the eating god, with protrusion of 7K eat wood in the HS. The Kui indirect wealth is supposed to be inauspicious for the chart supporting the 7K, but because there is a gap between the Kui and the eat wood, separated by the Xing preventing the Kui from supporting the eat wood, it is considered as auspicious. For eating god structure with protrusion of 7 killing and wealth, the 7 killing is combined and the wealth is preserved. The established structure is the best and the most superior. Ji Earth Day Master with Yu as the eating god in the month EB. The protrusion of E7K and Kui indirect wealth is supposed to be inauspicious. The protrusion of Ken HO combining with the E7K, removing the 7K, making it a superior chart. Then there is also some formation where protrusion of resource can seize the eating god, but such damage can be cured by protrusion of wealth. This structure can also has prosperity and nobility. However, one has to examine the whole chart in order to infer the person's life in more detailed manner. Jiawood Day Master with Si as the eating god. The Ren indirect resource can hurt the Bing eating god. The protrusion of Wu Earth in the HS can remove the Ren indirect resource, preventing the Ren to damage the Bing eating god, establishing the eating god structure. The example from Ziping Zhenquan showing different configuration of eating god structure. The different configuration which can establish the structure, making it elegant or failed.